my name's Jason Hess. Welcome to the director's commentary for my short film, A Morning Coffee Conversation. I'm going to break down my short film and take you behind the scenes of the concept and the execution of the scene. I'll show you some before and after scene edits and give you some insights into my favorite shots of the film. What do you say we get started? The opening drone shot was more of a filler shot, and I wasn't 100% sure on whether I wanted to use it or not, but it ended up being a great shot for the opening title card.
Where did you come from? More importantly,
Up until this point, it's just a normal character shot until the reveal. This is where things get fun. As you can see, my friend John's playing both characters in this scene, present and future John. It was quite the challenge, but I knew that it would be going into the project. This pretty much doubled the shoot times, as we had to ensure that we had all the coverage we needed before costume changes, and then we had to shoot everything again to ensure that we had all the coverage we needed then. All the shots were filmed on the Sony FX6 camera package. I was running a shotgun mic overhead for a majority of the audio, but I did mix it with the Sony FX6 scratch mic for a clearer all-around sound. Let's give it a listen.
Here's your chance. Okay. So if there was a way that you could go back and change anything, there it is. Listen, you can't keep doing this to yourself where you just sit around every time something difficult happens and thinking about how it should or could have gone. Why?
All the moving one shots were accomplished with a 48-inch camera slider. It is normally motorized, but can be manually operated if the power's unplugged. I went with the manual option. This let me control the speed myself and was a quicker solution than waiting to reset the slider each time. This also allowed me to personally operate the camera and slider for each shot to achieve my desired outcome.
I guess I really thought about that.
Let's pause here. I want to break down exactly how I accomplished this shot. Obviously, John couldn't be in two places at once, and he definitely doesn't have a twin. So off to post we go. These shots were originally filmed with myself sitting across the table from John, and I used the table runner as my middle ground. I didn't want to ruin the illusion by having someone move across the midline, and I used the entire table runner as my middle ground, and I could adjust the blend line back and forth as needed. I'd read lines for the character I was filling in for, and John would react with his lines. This gave a great back and forth conversational feel to each shot. After costume changes, we'd repeat the process for the second character. I started by layering the shots that I wanted to use, and simply adding the crop feature to the top layer to ensure that I wasn't in the picture. Here's the original, and here's the final. Moving on. While we mostly stuck to the script, there were a couple of lines that were changed on the fly, so it flowed more like a natural conversation than a scripted one. I almost forgot to mention lighting. I was lucky enough to use all natural lighting for this project. I did have lighting available had I needed it, but I was more than happy with how the lighting looked on screen. This was filmed in John's home, which is naturally very bright. The lighter colored walls did an amazing job of bouncing the light from the windows into the rest of the room. My biggest struggle was making sure that both scenes were properly exposed and lit correctly so that they matched to look seamless once the edit was done in post. This shot was a little bit difficult as I wanted both characters to be on screen, so I ended up going with this slide over crop and fade leading up to this point. This is my favorite shot in the film. This was one of the last shots filmed, and I absolutely loved the lighting. The way it gives a look of being later in the evening or even early in the morning. It almost gives that vision of waking in a haze. The handheld movement of the camera and the overall motivation of the scene. I just loved it. Once again, we've gone back to another edit in post. This time I used the door frame as my blend point, so I had to make sure that neither character crossed that midline. We've been joking about this shot since the day it was filmed. The reason why is because of how many people were actually in this small bathroom. It looks empty and roomy on screen, but there were 5 of us in this bathroom. Yeah, see? You can see that here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look into my short film, Morning Coffee Conversation. This project was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for whatever the next project might be. Take care.